We turn now to the latest on the recovery efforts in Louisiana, where many people still have no power after Hurricane Ida. And roughly 760,000 people are either without water or being advised to boil water. Long lines are forming in the sweltering heat for critical supplies like food and gasoline. Rescuers are still trying to make contact with people who have not been found. Our lead national correspondent David Begnaud is in hard-hit LaPlace, Louisiana. David, good morning.
Good morning, buddy. Let me tell you something. The sunrise is beautiful, but the reality on the ground is still rough. Aside from looking for food and fuel and a place to sleep, the elements are miserable. The bugs are incredible. I mean, look, we saw a family sleeping outside their car yesterday, and the 6-month-old baby with the family was just covered in bug bites. Shantae, let's take the drone now. If you take a look at where we have the floodlight positioned, you can see the flood water in front of this Motel 6 in LaPlace, Louisiana. And there was a sheriff's deputy who pulled up a short time ago and told our crew, FYI guys, alligators were displaced in this area, and so you need to be careful that you don't run across one. That may sound ridiculous, but at the end of the day, that's part of living in Louisiana, especially after a hurricane. Amid the devastation is the desperation. Crowds and cars lined up for gas in New Orleans.
And I've been here since 10 o'clock. It's 2:30.
That's 4.5 hours?
4.5 hours.
This is time-lapse video showing a line of people waiting for food wrapping around a block, hours before the food was even handed out.
Many of the life-supporting infrastructure elements are not present. They're not operating right now. So
it's why Mike Treg, sheriff of St. John the Baptist Parish, keeps getting requests for welfare checks.
My father lives at this address in LaPlace. He's 77-year-old, disabled male.
That was a message from a man in New Jersey who wanted to know that his dad is okay. So the sheriff sent his men to go check and see.
Cajun Navy and the National Guard has not been able to make contact with him due to debris in the roadway.
And they went out to check on him.
How you doing, sir?
77-year-old John Moore was home alone with his dog Nixon.
All right. We're with the sheriff's office. Your son is worried about you because he hasn't heard from you. Would you like us to get you out?
Too, sir.
All right. Would you like us to get you out? Yes, sir. All right.
They found that Moore's house was damaged by Ida. No water, no food, no electricity, and no fuel in his generator. So the officers convinced him it was not safe to stay.
You know, I tried to be by myself, but it's okay. Here. It's 77, it's hard.
They helped Moore, who has Parkinson's, to get dressed. And before they left, Officer Joshua Mathern began folding an American flag that he found on Moore's bedroom floor. Then they all escorted him to the shelter.
We have your father. Your father's fine. We also have the dog. Your father's a little shaken up, just wants to make sure he didn't do anything wrong and he's going to be okay.
Lieutenant Jake Boudreau decided it was safer for Mr. Moore to go to the hospital.
You ready? 1, 2, 3. Apparently this is his father's flag, World War II veteran. Kind of felt wrong to leave it hanging on the ground.
And as he sat on the stretcher, they handed him that flag. As Mr. Moore was taken away, Nixon was taken from him because they don't allow dogs at the hospital. You know, the sheriff's team was not going to let little Nixon be abandoned. So Lieutenant Boudreau personally took Nixon to the Emergency Operations Center, and he hand-delivered him to Rachel. She is the manager of the Animal Services, and Rachel is personally going to look after Nixon and make sure he is okay until he can be reunited with Mr. Moore. Gayle.
I don't even know where you get these stories from, David. I'm just sitting here thinking about Nixon. I'm thinking about Mr. Moore saying, I'm worried about me too. I'm thinking about how Mr. Moore just fell into the arms of the soldier or the police official who came to help him. It's so touching on so many levels, but best of all, now the son knows that his dad is okay.
I'm so proud to be from Louisiana. We have some really good people here.
No, you're one of those good people.
Included.
Yeah, and please stay away from the gators. That's something I hadn't thought about either. Thank you, David Begnaud.
Deal.
Stellar as always. We want you back.